We're always told to eat more fish because they're so good for us, but just as important is eating in season. So today we're at the Yarra Valley Caviar Farm to talk about these beautiful fish. Mark, what a beautiful place you have here. Tell me about these mountains we're surrounded by.
Well, it's all part of the Great Dividing Range.
Okay.
And our water source comes from around about 1,000 metres in altitude. So it's nice and cool and cold water. Spring fed, topped up with snowmelt at this time of the year. So it's perfect for salmon. Nice and cold, clean, no agriculture upstream. So yeah, just a perfect water source.
And what's the difference between, say, salmon farming and trout farming?
Well, trout farming are a lot more tolerant to warmer water. They can handle slightly murkier, dirtier water. Salmon just need absolutely pristine, crystal clear, cold, fresh water. So
which is what we've got here, obviously.
Yeah.
And about how many salmon do you have at any one time?
Our large salmon, which are around 3 kilos, is about 30 to 40,000.
Mark, most people think that salmon's available all year round because it's always in the supermarkets, but is that actually the case?
You can get it in the supermarkets just like you can with anything these days all year round, but it's definitely seasonal. And we've just come through the spawning season, which is in May, and we let the fish spawn naturally. And they take a few months to recover over winter. And then leading into spring, they're in prime condition. And it's around about this time of the year that we end up with perfect salmon.
Speaking of perfect salmon, I can't wait to see these fish. Can you lead the way?
Sure can.
Oh, there they are. Now Mark, you've pulled in a few fish for us to have a closer look. About how many of them would be in this pond?
It's around about 2,000 fish. We keep, sounds quite a lot, but we keep the stocking densities down below 10 kilos a cubic metre.
And about how many of them are female versus male fish?
It's around about 1 male for every 100 females.
Story of my life then, hey?
We keep the ratios like that so that we only want the females for the eggs. So a lot of the males get harvested early.
And what happens to the male fish then?
They'll get sent off to market once we can identify them. And the amount of fish in the pond, we could put more in, but we keep them low so that we follow organic guidelines, which we also don't use antibiotics or chemicals.
So speaking of market, can you pull one out and show us what we would choose if we were going to market to buy a fish?
So what we're looking for is a nice plump fish, nice silver skin, and you want nice clear eyes. These fish were milked for their eggs in May.
Okay.
At the end of milking, they have their spawning colours on, so on the outside they're very brown, very skinny. So they're nearly, most of the fish are recovered to the point where they're just about ready for harvest.
And about how much does she weigh?
That's a small one actually, it's only just on 3 kilos.
So she wouldn't be ready to go to market yet?
3 to 4 kilo is what we're after.
So perfect.
Yeah.
But if we just wanted to buy, say, a fillet, what would we be looking for?
For a fillet, if you're looking at the skin side first, you want it to be nice and bright and shiny, no slime.
Yeah.
And when you turn it over and you have a look at the flesh, in particular with salmon, it's easy to tell if they're a bit old because the muscle, they're called the myomeres, but the flakes of muscle will actually start to gape apart. And that means the fish is getting, or the fillet's getting towards the end of its shelf life.
What colour should it be?
Nice bright apricot-y orange colour.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, you've certainly inspired me to go and do a bit of cooking, so thanks so much for having us, and it's been a really wonderful time.
You're welcome, not a problem.